Hello, this is Michael Butts with MB Health Insurance Agency here in St. Louis, Missouri, and doing a series of just simple topics of some comments. One area that we encounter in discussion quite a bit is when a person transitions to Medicare. How do I sign up and when do I sign up? And more importantly, a concern of just avoiding any penalty is a big topic. So a person just generally about the penalty. For a person to be penalized for a delay going to Medicare, in my opinion, I'm going to phrase it, you got to work pretty hard to be penalized. In other words, overwhelmingly, it's not difficult to avoid the penalties. So first of all, when you first become eligible for 65, the government gives us 7 months to sign up for Medicare with no penalty. That is 3 months before my birth month, the month of my birth month, and then 3 months following. So that's a 7-month period. That period, how do I say this? Really more the topic of the issue of the penalty comes to play when if I am still working and I'm not ready for Medicare. I don't want Medicare yet because I still got my employer coverage. Now that penalty period is you've got only about 60 days following the end of your group coverage to avoid the penalty. So it's a little more attentive if I'm going to do as a retiree after the age of 65. But for persons just turning age 65 coming into Medicare, I'd have zero concern really about the penalty. For persons that are still working and you're delaying going into Medicare, you'd want to give this attention about 60 days or 90 days before your retirement date. That would be easily enough time to avoid any penalties and have that to be done. For people deferring, coming into Medicare later after the age of 65, so I'm full gainfully employed by my large employer, I've got my group health insurance coverage, zero concerns about a penalty or any enrollments or anything with the Medicare. About 90 days before your retirement date or the end of that coverage, call our agency and we'll talk you through. There's a supplemental form that we send to the government to verify you've had qualified coverage. If you're a person over the age of 65 and you did nothing, then you'd have a penalty and there's some time periods to be involved. So that's a little more complicated. And if any of these situations apply to you, call, text, email our office, mbhealth.com.